Well, hello, fellow Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel, where we can discuss current events and modern issues, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today, I wanted to discuss a little bit with you about the unequal treatment under the law and the apparent bias that our system has against President Trump and for President Biden and his family. Now, these are all mostly my opinions, but they are based on articles and other things that have happened over the last 10 years or so since Biden was vice president through when Trump was president and now into Biden's presidency, leading into our 2024 elections. Now, as election season is coming around in the United States, you can see that there's a lot of things that are changing. The first thing that I wanted to do is to look at some recent polls. So you can see here on the website 270 to Win, there's a couple of polls that have been conducted as recently as yesterday, but in North Carolina, makes sense, Trump is up. In South Carolina, he's definitely up. So you can see here, there's an Emerson College national poll, Trump is up +1. National Public Affairs Texas poll, Trump's up 7, makes sense again. Signal national poll, Trump's up 1. But you can see that the general idea is in our national polling that Trump is either up slightly or even with President Biden. Now, this is after all kinds of other things have happened. So what has happened recently? Say, well, there's been a lot of prosecutions against Trump. Trump has been ordered to pay significant civil penalties in multiple trials. You see here that according to AP, Donald Trump must pay an additional $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll in a defamation case. Now, whether he actually knows this woman or not, the fact is he was ordered to pay $83.3 million. That's a lot of money to me. That's a lot of money to probably you. That's a lot of money to most of us. But that's not even the end of it. So just yesterday, it was announced that Trump now has to pay $355 million for fraudulent business practices in New York State. So I don't know about you, but I don't have $83 million, let alone $355 more million. So that puts us a little bit over, let's see, ballpark math, like $420 million or so. Not bad, right? So everyone's like, oh, that's fine. Trump has all this money. He can pay it. It's not a big deal. I mean, sure, he has a lot of money, but like, do you want to have to pay that much in civil fines to anybody? Might that impact your ability to, I don't know, conduct normal business and maybe impact your political campaigns and your time and your ability to campaign and show up places? And it probably would. It would me. I mean, I know that kind of loss of money, even if I had Trump's money, which you can see here, according to Forbes, as of September 2023, they estimated his net worth at $2.6 billion. Now, something that you have to keep in mind is that rich people's net worth is not like you and me having money in our checking account. That is all money that is not like in his pocket. Those are assets he owns, sure, but in order to access that money, he would have to sell those assets. So it's not really money he has, it's just part of his net worth. Now, he does have cash and personal assets here totaling $640 million, but they've pretty much taken the lion's share of that in all of these civil cases. It appears with these extremely large judgments against him that they are on the path to attempt to personally bankrupt President Trump. Now, I'll keep calling him President Trump because he is a president, just like President Bill Clinton or any of the other ones. So don't read into it too much. But then you would think, well, let's see, if they're treating President Trump this way, I'm sure they're treating others equally, right? Are they? I'll just show you a picture of the video and I'll link the video in the notes. Now, this is a scene where President Obama is talking to Mr. Medvedev from Russia. Now, in it, if you can play it if you want, I can't play it because I don't have the rights to do so, but just know that in the video, you can hear in the recording that he tells Medvedev that this is my last election. After my election, I have more flexibility. So he's literally telling Russia that he'll have more flexibility to work with them after the re-election because he doesn't have to worry about running for re-election again. And he did this kind of quietly, almost like he was trying to get away with saying it and not get caught. Now, that's again my opinion. Take with it what you will. But did anything come out of that? I don't know, but I do know a couple other things. So you can see that the U.S. House Oversight Committee has an entire timeline, which I will also link to. So in this timeline, you can see that we start back in 2014 with Hunter Biden joining the board of Burisma. He doesn't have a real big background in energy, so why would he be messing around in Eastern European energy companies? Well, his dad at the time was vice president. So what do we have? It's interesting too that you can see here that just a few days later, he's giving a speech in Romania about the dangers of corruption in an early democracy. Projecting much, sir? Seems like it. And you can see here that not much later, he was photographed attending a dinner with Hunter, and you can read the transcribed interview about it if you wish. It's also interesting that you can see here that there is an amiss here that works for the US government in the Biden administration, meets with Hunter and discusses Burisma. So just remember that name real quick, because you can see here that not too much later, the same individual met with Vice President Biden at the time, now President Biden, and then the next day calls Hunter. Interesting. Why might there be a Biden on the board of an energy company in Ukraine? Maybe for access to the vice president? My opinion. Again, you form your own. You can see here again in 2015 when Biden landed in Ukraine and demanded that prosecutor Shokin gets fired. He was investigating Burisma. Interesting. Why would the vice president demand that a person investigating an organization that his son is tied to be fired or not get $1 billion from the IMF? I don't know. What do you think? I think it seems kind of fishy. Maybe some of that corruption that he was warning the Romanians about. You can see here in 2016 that Vice President Biden met with Poroshenko in Switzerland at the WEF. You can check out our other video where we did Milei's speech at the WEF from this year, that there is a linkage between the loan guarantee and necessary reforms. That sounds like bribery to me, but again, that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just a peasant. And then after that presidency was over, you can see here that in 2017, that Hunter was still communicating with people overseas and saying that his father would like to understand why commitments were not being fulfilled. Now, what commitments were those? Now, Hunter's father is obviously now President Biden, but let's talk about how corrupt Trump is, right? Let's not talk about the things that Biden might have done or his family. The Trump family is the bad family, not the Biden family, not the Obama family, just the Trump family. Remember that, people. You're not allowed to like the Trump family, but you have to like the Biden and Obama families. Just keep that in mind. Don't cross the wrong people. Now, it's interesting if you look here that in October of 2020, so right before the election for 2020, Biden responds to his question that says, "I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life." Really? Not a penny? Really? Not a penny? Does anyone else really believe that? Like, how likely is it that with all the foreign dealings that his family has had, that would be like Trump saying, never taken any foreign money ever. Guy runs an international business. Of course he has. Biden has family who does business abroad. Of course he's taken money from foreign sources. Again, that's my opinion, but what do I know, right? Now, it's interesting. I took no foreign money ever, right? Does he mean personally? Because his family definitely has. So we can see here in a memorandum that was released by the House Oversight Committee that on June 30th, not going to even try and pronounce that, but funded the CEFC infrastructure bank account with a significant injection of $10 million from China. And 1 month later, on August 4th of 2017, that same CEFC infrastructure wired $100,000 to Owasco PC, Hunter Biden's professional corporation. The wire for the financial transaction is below. So you go down a little bit. There you go. That's the money, $100,000. So you can see that the bank records establish that Owasco PC, Hunter Biden's professional corporation, received $100,000 that was funded by that place in China. It also disproves President Biden's claim that the family received no money from China. Like, how many times does he have to be not forthcoming? I won't say lie, because again, I'm just going to give you my opinion, but I don't think he's being forthcoming about the influence that foreign countries have over him. We spent how many years listening to, Trump is in his ties with Russia, Trump and his ties with other countries. Oh, he's compromised. We literally have the receipts for how the Biden family is compromised, in my opinion. Now, what does the government do about it? Is anyone else being charged? Well, I mean, Hunter Biden is under investigation, but then we turn around and we see this headline from the AP: FBI informant charged with lying about Joe and Hunter Biden's ties to the Ukrainian energy company. Now, I'm assuming that they're talking about Burisma. Let's look. So they're claiming that Alexander Smirnov, and that's not supposed to be a joke, that's the guy's actual name. It sounds like something out of a movie, but hey, let's just keep going. Reported to the FBI in June of 2020 that executives associated with Burisma, there we go, paid Hunter and Joe $5 million each in 2015 and 2016. Smirnov told his handler that an executive claimed to have hired Hunter Biden to protect us through his dad from all kinds of problems. Prosecutors say Smirnov, in fact, had only routine business dealings with the company in 2017 and made bribery allegations after he expressed bias against Joe Biden while he was a presidential candidate. Now, sure. Maybe he came forward because he saw a corrupt person running for office again. Maybe he came forward because he just doesn't like President Biden. Who knows? And I don't really care. But all I see when I see the government now charging witnesses in a trial against the sitting president and his son, it just seems politically motivated to me. Now, for being accused of being a tyrant and a fascist, Trump doesn't do this. Trump didn't do this when he was in charge of the government. You didn't see political prosecutions like this. Now, should he have? Maybe, but he had the opportunity to go after Hillary Clinton for her email server in a closet, but he didn't. And now what happened? Now they're coming after him for his documents because his documents are worse, right? Right? The Biden documents, the Clinton documents, like none of those violations of the Espionage Act or none of those possessions of classified materials matter. Those aren't important. They've got the right letter behind their name. Now, when Trump has those documents, it's like, oh, well, you know, he was doing these things and that things with it. What do you think that President Biden is doing with a bunch of classified documents in an office, in a university with public access, or in a garage, at a home where people can visit? Like, it's all the same thing, man. They're all doing the same thing. So the one side, or really both sides, the R's and the D's and all of the other parts of the government, they all support all this nonsense that the government has been doing for decades. And then you get an outsider who wants to upend things. What happened to the last outsider who came into office and threatened to upend three-letter agencies? Anybody remember the last person? And now you have another. Or in the future, if Vivek, with his plans, ever gets into office, do you really think that these parties and the three-letter agencies are going to let that happen? No, they're going to do everything they can to destroy the character, destroy the person, and if they can't keep them out of office, once they're in office, they can still fix the problem. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I wish that these corrupt people and disgusting individuals were not in charge in our country. I wish these agencies had just stopped meddling in other people's affairs overseas and here at home. I just wish that we could all treat each other nicely, rebuild our communities. You can see the video there. Why can't we just do those things? Espouse good, wholesome American values. Why can't we all just want a better nation and a better world? Why do we always have to have power and corruption trying to ruin it all? Why are we carpet bombing the Middle East again? Like, I don't get it. We need to just stop and focus on fixing this country, focus on building things here again, focus on making this a great nation again. So let's make America great again, as it once was. Now, thank you to those of you that made it to the end of the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload additional content. Please share the video with friends and family so that they can be better informed and to start a conversation, because they just don't let us see everything in the media normally. So it's up to us to spread that information ourselves. Have a discussion, have a debate, a friendly one. Don't be too mean with your family, but don't let falsehoods reign supreme. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a recommendation for a future video topic or reaction that you want to see on this channel, as most of the things on this channel do come from you in the audience. I greatly appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. God bless, and bye for now. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.